And hello and good morning. We are live on Bowls.tv, BOLES .television. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Still have the echo. Taking it off. We always hope. We fix things. We play with things. We make things go up and we go down. And we hope that it works. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Now, we've made some updates and some changes to our delightful new OBS system that we're using instead of Streamlabs. And the first thing I need to do is be very clever about this. The image slideshow. I need to make a copy of that. And then we're going back to the starting screen. And I need to do a pastorino. Bang. I believe it's there. At least I see it there. Then I have to go to the hardcore ASL thing and do the same thing here. Do a pastorino. And that, so did it work on the starting screen? I'm looking. Yes. And is it now active on our hardcore ASL? Yes. Hey, this is the fun of a live stream, right? You get to play with things and see if they break. It is there. Okay, so and then let's see. Main screen back, yellow. Fabulous. Oh, it's just wonderful. So far, so sort of good. Now, the captioning issue, I'm not exactly sure what to make of it, because I'm not seeing the captions anywhere. What it means. Oh no, that's not it. They're supposed to automatically show up. I don't know what to think of this. It's very strange. Because our captions are working. I see them working. I'll show you. I think. So this is our web captioner, and as you can see, hey, it's really good, and it's working very well and fast, but I don't see it on the live screen. I don't know why. Very disappointing. And I'll tell you what happened yesterday, but I have to get up there first. So this is what I'm trying to fix. So yesterday I had, let me just check one other thing before I forget. Socket settings. It all looks really terrific and fantastic. I don't know where the captions are, though. So this is what happened yesterday. So yesterday, there is in OBS experimental closed captioning. Yay, right? Okay, so I turned that on, and we started the stream yesterday. And it didn't work. Here, hey, Gordon's here. I am not seeing them. Okay, so this is That's what we're using. I have done all of this as far as I know. I've downloaded the socket, OBS stock. You won't see captions in OBS, but when you stream to a service like Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube that has a CC button, you will be able to toggle the captions on and off. Well, that's what we're doing. And we're going to go back to what happened yesterday. And none of this makes any sense to me. I'm very confused. Because there's no CC button. Maybe option 2. Screen capture. Open web captioner. Start captioning usual. In OBS, create a new window capture source. Name it something descriptive like captions and click OK. In the window list, select the window that mentions Google Chrome and Web Captioner. You should now see captions in OBS. If the Chrome window you're capturing appears black in OBS, you might need to temporarily disable hardware acceleration and use OBS's tools for cropping and positioning your captions on your stream. Yeah, well, that's what this is. That's what I showed you. I guess that's what they're telling me to do. Troubleshooting, let's see. No indication closed captioning is working. If you're having trouble with captions being displayed on a service, you can use these steps to determine if your issue is between Web Captioner and or your service by checking the WebSocket. Yeah, the WebSocket is very good, as far as I know. Now, see, the only problem with this screen capture is if not a problem, the issue is that this, but cropped, will appear on the screen, and you can't get rid of it because it's going to be a live caption, which is okay, but it tends to really annoy hearing people, of which I may or may not be one of. Just kidding. And then I would crop this and make it smaller, and these look great. I mean, this is spectacular looking, but you won't be able to get rid of it. What I liked about the closed caption option is you can turn it on and off. But it's not turning on and off. Hey, ad break. Thanks, Mubot. Now, this is where it gets interesting, I think. Uh-oh. Now what did I do? There it is. Whew. But we can try that. We can absolutely try that sort of captioning, the open captioning. So this is what happened yesterday. So yesterday they had experimental captions, and I used that. And we started the stream, and there were no captions. So I thought, uh-oh. So we went back and we used our regular stream CC, an overlay on top of what we're doing here with this and that. So an overlay, you turn it on and off. Okay. And that worked. But it doesn't get saved to video on demand. So this is our show yesterday. Our software, which makes it a little easier to see. Yeah. So I spent last night trying. And as you can see, this is our video on demand page. On the what's it called? Twitch. So you see down here, there's a CC button. Oh, now look at that. Now there's a CC button. Okay. So that's cool. Now here's the issue. The issue is that is not the captioning we had yesterday, because the overlay captioning does not get saved. This that we are seeing right here, sir, was the experimental closed captioning that we did not think was working, but actually did work. And I found this out yesterday after the show was over, when I say transporting, but I guess it's exporting the live show file over to the YouTube. And so I'm looking at it and seeing if, and I'm seeing captions. I said, that's impossible. We've never seen captions before, ever. Who are these people? So then I think back and the experimental captioning we thought wasn't working was working beautifully. And I saw this. I better stop myself here. I'm going to go crazy. So then I went to this, which is the export page, which is what you see right here, export. It makes it so beautiful and so simple. And you click on export, and then you get this, export to YouTube. I used to have to download these files. They're 6 gigabytes, and then download and then upload. It took forever. And people say this didn't work, but I guess they fixed it because now it really works great. It's all done behind the scenes. You tell Twitch, hey, put my show on YouTube, and they do it. It's beautiful. So here I am looking at this. The rotating images over here. And I'm seeing the captions. And there's the CC thing right there. So you can turn them on or off, which is what you want. Because hearing people get very fussy about things. Not that I'm one of them. Hey, it's Dora. Hooray, Dora. Well, we don't know if it's hooray or not. We're trying to figure this out. Flak jacket. Vest. Now, I better stop myself. Now, we go to the YouTube, right? Open up OBS. This is your old palette. What the hey? Here we go. Okay, this is OBS, and it was already all set up. I had everything all set up. My show from yesterday that I uploaded to YouTube. And as you can see, there are no closed captions. And there are always closed captions on YouTube. What happened? Don't know. Because we go to the day before on the YouTube, and we have our captions. And I've probably totally misconstrued that, and they're working. Now, those are YouTube captions. Those are not my captions. So it seems that yesterday, on the video on demand file, the Catholics are not Christians, even though they believe in Christ. Not a Christian. We have captions, but that same file exported and put on YouTube doesn't have captions. There's Dora talking to herself. What? Oh, yes, I remember reading that. Totally captioned. But usually, sometimes it takes YouTube a while to caption. So maybe if I go back in a day or two, this will be captioned by YouTube. But it should read the file and see that the captions are there. As I understand it, which doesn't mean anything. So I can put these live captions on the show. But see, the problem is, well, I don't know if it's a problem. The issue is, if I put this live here, it's going to be there forever, which can be okay. However, there are also going to be closed captions that are part of the file. So we're going to have double captions. Some that are open. That's what it's called. Open captions are what this is that we're seeing right now. That's an open caption. It means you can't turn it off. But if you have open captions, then you don't need closed captions because they're serving the same exact purpose. So I guess you would just, if you're a deaf person, turn them off. Turn them off. Because you wouldn't need them because they're open captions. Doris says, bummer. It is bummer. I'm trying to figure this out. And I'm doing it in real time with you. And I'm sure this is going against all streaming protocols by boring people with this conversation, but in some ways, there's no way to figure it out until you're live. This is very interesting to me, and I'm not exactly sure what to do about it. But if we leave things here like this, oops, it's not showing up. Uh-oh. Now what'd I do? There it is. Okay. So, not exactly sure the right thing, because now if you're deaf and you're watching our show live, you don't have any captions. As far as I can tell, they're being recorded as part of the video file, but you can't see them. So my option is to leave it that way, and the deaf can watch the show, closed captions, after. I can add open captions, and then they'll always be there. These are the conundrums of the live stream broadcast. And this would all be solved if Twitch, like Facebook and YouTube before it, would just natively offer closed captioning. It's part of the stream. And then you'd have that CC button that you can turn on or off as you wish. And then the difference becomes, well, I guess if you want open captions, you have to use Web Captioner, which I like a lot. It's very effective, and when it makes a mistake, it goes back, erases, and puts it back. I like that very much. The captions are really stunningly interesting. I'm putting them up again so I can finish this thought. With our other captioning system, it would take we'd have a long delay of like 10, 15 seconds. This one, there's no delay. And if I make a mistake, or if it makes a mistake, it goes back and corrects it. It's very pro. And even the guy who runs Streamer CC, Talk to Me Guzman, said, hey, if you can use Web Captioner, go use that. It's better. So I'm thinking, well, do you want to use Web Captioner? And we've already made a donation because they don't charge anything and it's all for free, but you could make a voluntary contribution if you like. Or do we use the experimental, built-in, baked in, if you will, into OBS, their natural closed captioning, which I thought was not as good, but it's more seamless. It's set it up one time, say yes, enable, and it's there forever. The Web Captioner, I have to open a window. As you can see, we're looking at the window. I have to start captioning, stop captioning. I have to figure it out. But there is one really great thing about the Web Captioner, and I'm going to click on this. I don't know if it'll show it or not. Yes, it is showing it right here. And this will allow you to caption Facebook, YouTube, several others It's very nice. You have to set them all up. But this is the killer. You can save the transcript. So everything that I will have said over the course of this live stream will be saved in a text file or as a Word file. And I've always wanted that. Just so if you have someone who missed the show, if you have a deaf or hard of hearing person who missed the show, doesn't have access to the internet, you can send them the text file. And if it's an accurate text file, which so far Web Captioner is, they can read the 2-hour show and see what's interesting and what works for them, and then maybe they'll want to watch the video on demand. Now, StreamCC, which we were using before, the guy who runs that said, yeah, I used to have that, but it was hard to do. I couldn't figure it out. It was expensive. And I said, well, maybe you could offer that as like a premium thing, because people are already paying you $5 a month. Maybe you charge them $10 a month so they can save the file. Yeah, he didn't want to. And I understand that StreamCC is like a side project for him. Okay. So I love having that. That's going to be very valuable to me, just so I know what I said and that I have a record of it. Gordon says, could you make the windows smaller so the text isn't quite so much space? Yes. If I was doing this as live caption, I would make a smaller window. Well, I can just see if I can do it right now, just since we're chatting. Oh my gosh, there's the baby. Oh, she likes the big captions next to you on screen. Uh-oh. A culture war is starting. But now the question for Jana Marie is do you want open captions or do you want closed captions? That is the question. Now, Jana Marie, wherever you are, and she's not here today, are you able to see a captions? Anything that you can click on to start a caption? That is my question for the sweetheart. I don't see it. I'm looking on the big TV. I'm looking on the iPad. I don't see a captions option, which does in fact bother me. So let me see if I put this back to regular. Oh, what'd I do? Oh, look at that. This is our very first timer. Oh, Janet prefers to click the captions. Okay, probably closed captions. Oh, here we go. I'm missing all this because I'm looking somewhere else. Okay, so Janet says, nice to have captions next to you on screen. I'll test small text. Probably closed captions. Okay. That means I don't think we have captions during the live show because I don't think they're available. So the closed captions are only available on video on demand. I prefer to click the captions. I think most people do because you either want them or you don't want them. Open captions, which I don't mind, but open captions, they're forced on you. And then our MooBot. Oh, that's so cute. This broadcast every day at 9 a.m. Eastern. Thank you so much, MooBot. We welcome you. And then Jana Marie says, so that deaf people can choose. Well, there you go. That's fine to have closed captions. Well, that's true. And we're not, I'm not even going to know if this works until after the show when I check the file and to see if it recorded. But as far as I can tell, everything is going great and it's working. Because it would not be captioning if it wasn't set up properly on OBS. Oh, what a meow meow day. And now it's time to take our very first blood pressure break of the day. Returning momentarily. And here's our new and improved Be Right Back screen. Back in a moment. And we are back from break. I sort of miss my little scene changes where things sparkle and give me a second or two to come back from this right to this. It's too fast. But it's very plain, it's very simple, it's very clean. I like that a lot. And most of the major streamers do that. They keep it very simple. Don't have a lot of stuff on screen. And they don't use transitions. They just put stuff up. The delightful Jana Marie is leaving now to do office work. Boring. Pays the big money. Good job, Big Dave. Oh, thank you, honey. I appreciate that so much. And I have a great big giant window screen here that's captioning everything I said. Well, on break, I went into Apple TV because it's huge. When I watch my Twitch stream there live, even on break, and it's much crisper now that we're broadcasting in high definition. And I went back to a couple of our older shows, especially yesterday, that show, with the hidden closed captions that I didn't know were there. And I played a little bit of it just to see if there were captions. There were no captions. Were there options for captions? No. Now, it's Apple TV. I know that's how they run things. But I was hopeful. So in that case, it would be better to have open captions than closed captions. It's a hard, I don't know, sort of torn. Because I know young children and people who are learning to speak English like to see captions. I guess we'll find out after the show if the captions actually stick or not, and if the CC button appears or not. Oh, and our MooBot took another ad break. I love being notified. I'm liking our MooBot more and more. So we will figure out the captions issue, I guess. In the meantime, the war continues in Ukraine. And I guess our field reporter is our good friend, Alexander Grushansky, who every once in a while sends me a little hello, says hi, sends me photographs. And for about a week, he's been talking about how his family have to get up and leave. The war is getting worse. It's closing in on them. I believe they're in the Kyiv area. And about 6 p.m. Eastern, he sent me this photograph. He said, "It's getting worse. I'm on night duty. I have to get out of bed." So this is our friend. This is what this is Alexander. He's never sent a close-up of his face before. Now we know who we're fighting for and who is fighting for freedom in Ukraine, for his family. And then almost immediately, he said things are not going well. And he sent me a second picture, which I think was confusing because it's a picture of his cat. Now, he obviously knows I love cats, and you can see the cat is in a Ukrainian bag, looking very happy and content and extremely beautiful. So if you're sending a distress signal from Ukraine, this is very effective. This just makes you want to go outside and play with a cat because it's so delightful. It's so beautiful. Maybe he's telling us that his cat is protected no matter what, which I find very charming, and I appreciate that. So I love getting these updates from Alexander, and I hope he keeps them up. But I don't know if he will be able to because the war is pressing in all around them. Scary. Hey! Yesterday, on the Facebook, I posted this from the sweetheart Jana Marie, who's no longer with us. Her lovely sunflower. Found this in Long Island City. I think it's beautiful. Echoing a tree grows in Brooklyn. A sunflower grows in Long Island City. And it's pretty healthy. It looks very tall. And the most beautiful thing is nobody's messed with it yet. People have a habit of messing with stuff on the street. So for some reason, this has persevered for a very long time and been preserved. And hey, top fan, Gordon in Florida, the Commissioner Gordon, says, could this be an NFT? And hey, top fan checking in from her basement with the large TV, Dora says, everything could be an NFT. And Gordon says, spoken like a true artist. And then I make a joke about Dora's soul and her job. And I did make it into an NFT. Because why not? I love the idea. And here it is on OpenSea. I made it into an NFT, but I didn't put it on sale because why? I'll sell it for 1 Ethereum. 20 Ethereum. Why be stopped? And it's perfect for an NFT. As Dora says, why not an NFT? Alexander's soul, her soul, everybody's on sale on an NFT. But, oh, and then our lovely friend Dora out of the basement, taking photographs on her walk. A cucuzza plant. This was the mystery of the afternoon yesterday, by the way. This was a good half hour of going back and forth on the Twitter and on the Facebook, where she found this wonderful, oh, it should be bigger, this wonderful, wonderful plant growing near the road. And I guess you can eat these petals. And I'm going to say it's a delicacy. Oh, there we go. I guess this is a Facebook thing. Okay, there we go. Dora. Oh, there's Dora. Our gas price is that low. I'm not sure what you're talking about. The gas prices are lower. Oh, to create NFTs. See, I'm not even paying attention to what I'm saying. Yes, gas prices are very, very, very low now because the Ethereum blockchain is moving over to the new Ethereum 2 blockchain. Yeah, when I was moving stuff around last week from the beta wallet to the real wallet, and some I want to get rid of some stuff in the real wallet, so I moved it over to the beta wallet. Gas fees for a transaction of 11 NFTs was $3. Fabulous. Everything else was like $1, $2, one was $7. Now that's amazing because I was used to paying gas fees of 30 or more. So gas fees are very low. And one good thing about using MetaMask over Coinbase is MetaMask will say, look, gas fees are really high right now. Do you really want to go through with this right now, or should we wait a few minutes? And then you wait a few minutes, and then MetaMask says, okay, let's go. And then you go and you pay and you get a low price. Really fabulous. Too bad I can't create NFTs, Dora says. I know, I don't understand it. I think you need to have a commission formed on why you're not allowed to create an NFT. Doesn't mean you have to sell them. See, I think you could create them all. Have them on, let's say, an OpenSea account. Make a collection. Curate it for 6 months or however long it is. Not selling them. You saw that my sunflower plant was not for sale. People can make an offer, but it's not for sale. You can turn down an offer. No one can force you to sell. So you're not selling your NFTs. You're only creating them, which I was going to say theoretically, but actually they have no value until you put a price on it. I am free for legal consultation after the show, even though I'm not a lawyer. So she found this on the sidewalk, returning from her 5,000-step walk, which is fabulous. Dora couldn't believe it. The yellow flowers make a delicious addition to any meal. cucuzza is an Italian summer squash. I'm sure you must have heard of it. I had not heard of it, and she told me all about it. And we had the better conversation on Twitter because we want to know who is this? Where did this come from? And who would eat these petals being out on the street next to the road? I thought it was growing wild. And Ms. Dora said, I don't think it's growing wild because it's being taken care of. Somebody put it around that thing. And she has a feeling it's someone on the other side of the fence because they have a lot of vegetation. So it's a mystery that needs to be solved. Because I love this, that someone is perhaps sharing it with the neighborhood. But I'm not sure what people are going to do with it in the neighborhood because it doesn't seem like it's going to be the safest thing to eat. Now here's another delight. It's a past delight, and now I have to put on my headphones. Now, we've talked about Abe's before, right? That if you're vegan, you're going to have the time of your life. With these delicious, safe for school muffins. And they're vegan, there are no nuts, so that's why they say they're safe to take to school. Babes has birthday cakes, 6-pack muffins. We've tried them all. They're all incredibly delicious and highly addictive. You can get 4 packs of muffins, and every time the muffin pack gets smaller, the muffins get bigger. There are pound cakes, coffee cakes, vanilla, blueberry, zucchini bread from my childhood, pumpkin bread, ginger spice, brownies, incredibly delicious. Here are the celebration cakes. This is a celebration cake. It's a birthday cake. The chocolate is Jana Marie's favorite. The carrot is dense, incredibly delicious. The gingerbread cake, I've never had that one before. When we order from Whole Foods, because they're like the only place that really has this in stock, they usually have one type of cake available. So if you pick one and it's out, they don't have another one. They have square cakes, cornbread, delicious. The coffee cake's fabulous. I've never tried the fruit cake, never seen it available. Now I have to go search for it. You can also buy one giant muffin. And also go gluten-free if that's important to you. But here, this is the spectacularness of it all. And I did used to play this all the time. I was maybe a little less mature. And I don't know if you can hear our coffee thing is out there telling me it's ready. This, and I used to play this on the show, live show often. I never got in trouble for a violation from YouTube or Twitch that I was playing a song that I could not play. But this is Abe's Jingle, and I've turned up the volume, so get ready to party down.
They got the world's best muffins. They're not just any kind of muffins. No milk, no nuts, no soy, no eggs. They got the world's best muffins. They're not just any kind of muffins. The very best vegan muffins are Abe's.
One more time.
They got the world's best muffins. They're not just any kind of muffins. No milk, no nuts, no soy, no eggs. They got the world's best muffins. They're not just any kind of muffins. The very best vegan muffins are Abe's.
I just love that song.
They got the world's best
one more time.
muffins. They're not just any kind of muffins.
It's hard to turn off. I have to go all the way down to turn off. Okay.
No eggs. They got the world's best muffins. They're not just any kind of muffins. The very best vegan
Yay, Abe's. I got to turn this back down and turn our music back on. Oh, it's just so much fun. Now that's a jingle. You know, people make jingles to sell their stuff. Oh man, that's delightful. Gordon says, now you need to take a turn singing it. I did. I used to sing this. We had a young friend who was very active right when this stream started. And he was vegan and into all the fun stuff, delightful person, and then found out he was 11 years old in the 6th grade. And he admitted it on stream, and that's an automatic ban. That's an automatic Twitch ban. If you're under 13, they throw you off. So it makes me a little sad, a little melancholy. I'll have to practice my singing skills on that jingle. I had it down at one time. But as we get older, things change. This off. Now here's some news that's just terrible. San Francisco, New York, state declare monkeypox emergencies as the outbreak grows. Well, terrible. And the fact that this is beginning and being propagated in the gay community, not a great thing. Oh, hey, Gordon also said, even a William Shatner cover would be acceptable. There you go. And I love Bill Shatner. I think he's a very interesting guy. But he said, I guess, he said something last week where he doesn't like the new Star Trek episodes. He said Gene Roddenberry would never stand for that or something like that. And then he got viciously attacked by Twitter people who tell him he's old and he doesn't know anything. So, Captain Kirk, get out. So San Francisco and the state of New York, which are two, I don't want to say hotbeds of homosexuality, but there are a lot of gay people who live in New York City, especially, and San Francisco. And monkeypox is starting in their community, and people are trying to hope to get this tamped down so it doesn't spread to other communities and other places. That's a lot of pressure on a minority culture that is highly discriminated against by not only people on the street, but by politicians. San Francisco and the state of New York declared public health emergencies yesterday amid the growing monkeypox outbreak. Latest escalating measures in response to a rapidly spreading virus. I mean, if this monkeypox thing becomes a COVID thing, what are we going to do? And now it starts sexually, and then it's spit, and then it's touch, and then it's sleeping on the same bed, and then it's going to be, looking at somebody. Oh, monkeypox now. That's how these viruses change and replicate. The action by two of the hardest hit areas come after the WHO declared a global emergency as the Biden administration weighs a national emergency declaration. He won't do it. He can't do it. 40% of the nation's confirmed almost 5,000 monkeypox cases have been reported in California and New York. So look out. However, Douglas County, Omaha, Nebraska, the men are men and the women are women. Wink, wink, right? No gays here. Wink, wink, right? Right. Well, in Omaha, they now have their second case of monkeypox. Last week they had one. This week they have two. Which for Omaha, Nebraska is very dangerous. And considering the community, that's a lot. That's a lot of cases for Omaha, Nebraska. After the state of New York recorded more than 1,200 cases, State Health Commissioner declared an imminent threat to public health. Now, this is the interesting part. Retroactive to June 1st. How do you do that? What is the point of that? It must be for some kind of record keeping, right? How can you go back to June 1st and say, oh, this emergency we're having now? It really began June 1st. We just didn't tell you. I guess they want to go back in time so they can get all of these monkeypox things recorded. Oh, Artistora said she's heard of those covers. I guess we're talking about William Shatner. I love those William Shatner performances. I wish we could play them on the show, but we'd be in big trouble. This declaration means local health departments engaged in response and prevention activities will be able to access additional state reimbursement or other federal state funding and get sources maximized. So that's very good. Monkeypox spreads primarily through close contact, and experts say they believe skin-to-skin exposure during sexual activity is a major source of transmission. Hey, the Moo Botson. Oh, Gordon says, I made a formal request to Abe's for the Jingle lyrics. They're wonderful. I think I even emailed them and I said, hey, we're using your jingle on our show. I hope that's okay. Tell me if it's not. And by the way, we love Abe's. And they wrote back almost immediately and said, hey, go for it. Terrific. Do whatever you want to do. We love it. And I said, well, I love you back. You cannot beat Abe's. It's addictive. It's as healthy as a cake and a muffin can be. They caution the virus spreads through other forms of touch and can circulate outside the gay community. Now that is super important to start talking about right now, because you know there are politicians who are going to say, oh, this is the gay disease. We're fine because we're not homosexuals. Because there have been a handful of cases in women and children, and that doesn't mean they're having sexual activity with children. Federal officials have been wrestling over whether to declare an emergency. They won't, though. Other health and White House officials have raised questions about declaring an emergency, saying it would be mostly symbolic and create pressure to declare additional emergencies for other issues such as abortion that advocates have sought. They won't do it. They're too scared. Now, this is the image we were talking about monkeypox for the deaf community in Jana's show. This is the image we have from the New England Journal of Medicine, which we showed here before, but it wasn't big like this. Now you can see what the monkeypox really looks like. We are not showing anuses or penises, because we have those pictures too from the New England Journal of Medicine, because we're not doing that. These are all around the lips and the mouth. And this one looks a little strange. That is someone's tongue. It's a blister on the tongue itself. This is the back of the throat, what monkeypox looks like. I think we can even make this bigger for a bigger bang, so to speak. Now that looks really painful. This guy has it under his tongue, on the tip of your nose, and on your lip. And it doesn't always look this radical. People in New York, they get, one or two pocks on their lips or elbow or something, and they say it's the most painful thing they've ever had. Sort of akin to shingles. So now we're going to take our next blood pressure break. And in the interest of public health, I'm leaving this up. I won't put up our intermission screen, just so we can remember this and know. So if you see people on the street or they have a question, they can say, look, try to get a vaccine if you can. They will help you. And now we're returning in a moment. And we are back from break. I wish I could pin messages, but that's another life with Streamlabs. There's got to be a way to do it here. But Gordon says, as I walked away to help pick up stuff in the other room, I came back to this. This is not this. This is this. It's not the Apes Jingle either. Yeah. Well, that's nasty stuff. You don't want to get that. I can tell you from personal experience the shingles are terrible, but this monkeypox looks worse than any of that. Yikes. No, thank you. So, hey, which city is the most expensive city to live in? Well, last week we said that living in Manhattan, the average price for a one-bedroom apartment is $5,000 a month. Well, looks like we have a new king of the hill in the old real estate game. Believe it or not, the armpit of New Jersey, Jersey City, is now the most expensive place to live in the United States, with an average rental price of $5,500 per month. As reported in the New York Times, which city is most expensive for renters? You might be surprised. I'll say, if you're going to pick a New Jersey city, I would not pick Jersey City. Hoboken, beautiful, small, lovely, has a lot of flooding, unfortunately. But boy, that's a beautiful place. I would love to live in Hoboken. And people say, oh, Frank Sinatra. We have a big statue to him because he lived in Hoboken. Yeah. Frank Sinatra lived in Hoboken. But Frank Sinatra was born in Jersey City. Meow. With a spate of new luxury developments luring tenants from across the Hudson River, that means New York City. That's a very New York City-centric newspaper, right? Jersey City has made itself the priciest city in the nation. This is downtown. The Hudson River waterfront, Jersey City has seen a crop of luxury high-rise apartments sprout up in recent years. It's all true. Hey, we live in a big luxury apartment. We got in early. Jersey City is sometimes called the armpit of New Jersey. Oh, no, wait, that's what I'm saying. That's not what the article says. It's sometimes called the sixth borough of New York City. It's very true. We are closer to Manhattan than Brooklyn. And you can, if you take the PATH train from here to there, Jersey City, Journal Square, into World Trade Center, you can be in Manhattan, center of the world, 11 minutes. Pretty fast. As of June, it was the most expensive city in which to rent a home in the United States de Americana, topping famously expensive metros like San Francisco and Miami, with an average rent of $5,500. Rental prices have surged across the United States during the pandemic, spurred by a spike in inflation and a wave of tenants moving farther from their urban offices as they settle into remote work. I'm not sure that's it. I can say that when Building 2, we're in Building 1, Building 2 in our high-rise was built by KRE, Kushner Real Estate, not Jared Kushner of the Jared Kushner fame, although he was involved, but then when Trump got elected, I understand that the family kicked him out. It's run by Gerald Kushner, who is Jared's cousin, and as I understand it, the cool Kushner. But the staff used to wear shirts that said Kushner Real Estate. And they would go to the McDonald's, a lot of other buildings being built, be walking on the street, and they would get harassed by people. Oh, Captioner. And the staff felt insulted and attacked. So they changed all the shirts. They got rid of Captioner Real Estate and just made it KRE. But it worked. The harassment stopped. If you don't know what KRE is, you really can't. If you see Captioner, they hated Jared Captioner. You have to defend him. So when they were opening the second building, it was filled very quickly. 700 apartments filled within 3 months, which is spectacularly fast. A lot of it from Asia, especially China. People would sell everything they had. They'd move over, arrive, and fill everything in their apartment. They would just fly themselves over with a little bag of clothes. They'd arrive here, then they would order everything they want to fill their apartment from IKEA, Chinese suppliers, and Amazon. So if you can imagine filling an entire apartment with stuff that you're buying. So for every apartment, it was like an average of 100 boxes, some of them beds, dressers. It really overwhelmed the building. But they were offering spectacular move-in gifts. 4 months free rent on a 2-year lease. So if you're paying $5,000 a month times 4, that is $1 million. That's a lot of rent that you're saving. So when they sell you the apartment, it's very sneaky because they use that reduced rent, right? They lower the price of the yearly rent by $10,000 a year, and then divided by 12, and oh, look at the low rent. But you only find out that your real rent is the actual price, $5,000, and then the months you don't pay anything that month. Your monthly rent is based on the original price. But still, hey, 4 free months. That's very persuasive. Just behind Jersey City was Boston at $4,878, and the Silicon Valley hub of Palo Alto, California, $4,600. Then came LA, Glendale, California, $4,400. Santa Monica, $4,300. Miami, $43,000. Hoboken, the other armpit, 2 armpits of New Jersey, Jersey City and Hoboken, $4,200. And if you're buying a house, I mean, people say, what are you talking about? How can you pay that much money? Sometimes you don't have a choice. Jersey City is a proxy for New York City in a lot of ways, and it should have been I'm surprised it took this long. There are 6,000 new apartments going up in I would say a 4-block radius of where we are in Jersey City. Now, I ask, how in the world are you going to fit, at a minimum, 6,500 people on the PATH train going into Manhattan every day back and forth? The PATH trains are already completely full. How are you going to add capacity? And they say, well, we can add more train cars. But then the people in charge say, no, we can't, because there are certain stops like Newport Mall where even the current trains are too long for the platform. So they're like 2 or 3 cars where people can't get in because the platform stops here and the train goes here. So I guess they're going to do more of that, add more cars, but you have to make sure you're sitting in the proper place to get off at a stop. And it's also very dangerous if there's an emergency, a fire, a tunnel collapse. You can't have people stuck in a train tunnel at a station because the train is too long. People need to have the doors open and get off. And that's another problem, is when you have cars that are not on the platform exactly. Going up my nose. When they open the doors, all the doors open. So how can you open the doors on all of the train? And there are cars stuck in the tunnel with the door open, and they're walking into a tunnel. I don't know how they're going to fix it, but they don't seem to be too caring about it. I also worry about water pressure because these big buildings take a lot of water. And I've noticed the water pressure in our building over the last 3 years has gone down significantly. It's like you can tell they're doing it just enough water coming out so they don't get in trouble. It used to be full steam. Now it's like a little trickle. Is it because of money? Yes. Is it because everyone around us is using too much water? Yes. More than 6,660 units are planned under development in Jersey City, most of which are ready by 2026. And this other building over here that they're building, they're putting a Target on the first floor, a Target store. It will be fantastically, fantastically successful. There is nothing within 2 miles of this area that is anything close to a Target. You have to get on the train and go to the mall. Not the mall car, the mall. And near the mall, there is a Target. But having a Target right here is going to be spectacularly successful. People will go crazy for it. But you got to wait 4 years. Jersey City was a net beneficiary of the pandemic. Now I'm putting on this screen momentarily so I can be crass and itch my nose in private. There's something that has gone up my nose. Okay, now I'm okay. Don't caption that. It captioned it. Now this is another fascinating article about Twitch streamers. Oh no. Now what's happened? Stalkers, fans, threats, police raids, the hidden price of Twitch fame, which we don't have. But it's still a very interesting story and one that doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Now, this is a Twitch streamer, and they're using her real name, Caitlin Siragusa, who films her content for Twitch and other social media at home, called police on a stalker last month. Okay, so this is her setup. Look at my setup, look at her setup. I don't have anything that looks like that. But her username on Twitch is Amaranth. And her claim to fame is sexuality. She often wears a bikini on her stream. And I guess Twitch rule says you cannot wear a bikini on your stream unless you are swimming. So she installed a small, kiddie, inflatable swimming pool in her living room so she can go swimming in her bikini and not violate Twitch rules. Her biggest claim to fame was, I can't think of a polite way to say this, giving head to a microphone. Licking it, slurping it. Super gross. Dora is laughing somehow about something. I don't know what or why, but I'm sure she'll tell us. The unwanted visitor rapped on Caitlin Amaranth's front door and peered through the windows of her home on the outskirts of Houston. When she did not answer, he walked around the back of her house and jiggled a doorknob there. He had been sending Miss Siragusa unsettling messages for months and said online that he had sold his home and possessions in Estonia to fly halfway around the world to find her. I'm sorry it took me so long to get here. It was a hell of a challenge, said the man, captured by Miss Siragusa's security cameras in June. Then, speaking into his phone, which he was using to live stream the visit, he added, "But I'm here now." Now, see, that's a problem, especially with streamers, for some streamers, Because if you're streaming live and people figure out where you're streaming from, and they're watching you on your live stream, they know exactly where you are in time and place. It's not like you recorded it 3 hours ago and now you're in a different place. They know exactly where you are, which is a little frightening. That man was one of Ms. Saragusa's 5 million followers on Twitch, where she goes by Amaranth. She called the police, who eventually came and detained him. The incident was terrifying, she said, but it wasn't the first time she had dealt with what is increasingly going hand in hand with being a high-profile streamer on Twitch. Harassment and stalking. Sometimes she plays games, but usually her hours-long broadcast is more like a cabaret variety show. Though Twitch discourages streamers from wearing swimwear if they're not going swimming, she broadcasts in a bikini because she installed an inflatable hot tub in her bedroom last year. The vast majority of Twitch's 8 million streamers broadcast themselves for hours at a time, showing monkeypox images and cat photos. They interact with fans who post messages in a chat box. Ms. Saragusa, she says she makes about $120,000 a month on Twitch from fans who watch advertisements, make one-time donations, or pay about $5 a month to subscribe to her channel. That's in addition to more than $1 million she earns monthly on other platforms, like OnlyFans. And I read an article about her the other day, maybe a month ago, where so far in her life on Twitch, she's earned over $12 million. That's not a bad payday for being in a hot tub in your bikini. Now, the question is she asking for this kind of interaction from her viewers? People would say, no, it's not what you wear. It's not how you behave that gets you emotionally abused or confronted. But you also have to think, well, wait a minute, she's out there actively doing sexual things to microphones and other things. For what effect? To earn money or to have people come and knock on her door? It can be confusing for some people. Streamers on Twitch and other platforms have had stalkers show up to their homes and at fan conventions. They've been targeted by armed and violent viewers or dealt with a swatting, a sometimes deadly stunt where someone calls the local police with a fake crime reported at a streamer's house. Usually there's a murder in progress. And then they want to see the raid caught on camera, and the SWAT team comes, and it's very, very dangerous. Because if you make the wrong move, they will shoot you. In response to the harassment, threats, stalkers she's endured since joining Twitch in 2016, Ms. Saragusa has bought guns, installed security cameras, and gotten a Caucasian Shepherd, a breed of guard dog named Bear. She's been swatted so often that law enforcement agencies in her areas know to check her Twitch stream when they get a call. Last year, when a trash can outside Miss Saragusa's house caught on fire, police suspected arson. Now, it's a very difficult thing. During the pandemic, psychologists say that live streaming gave people a better social closeness. Watching Twitch helped people feel less lonely and depressed during the pandemic. I understand that. As a moderator on Amaranth's Twitch stream and the Amaranth server Discord, there's a darker side of the connections formed over Twitch. And a lot of these stalker people are sometimes young. They don't have a lot of experience. They misunderstand her looking into the camera, saying intimate things. They think that she is talking directly to him. The talent manager in Los Angeles representing digital stars, said celebrities often had to contend with unhealthy obsessions from some fans. But live streamers, he said, are uniquely at risk because of the personal details they may casually expose. An idle comment about a favorite cafe, a reference to a loved one, or even a glimpse of the street outside a window could give obsessed fans ammunition they need to find the streamer. Dizzy Kitten dropped out of community college in Arkansas to spend her days streaming while playing World of Warcraft and Counter-Strike. She did not want her last name used, because in 2018, a man from Washington State told her he was coming to see her, sending her photos and updates during his 2,000-mile Greyhound bus ride to her small town. He had her address and was convinced she was his wife, even though they'd never met in person. Brandy contacted police, but was told they wouldn't intervene to protect her until he showed up. And many Twitch streamers have had this experience. Police do not act on threats. They only act to real-world danger. After the man arrived in the middle of the night, she called 911 and was arrested. He was arrested and charged with stalking and is in state custody in a psychiatric hospital. It's very strange and very odd. And usually, it's women who get this sort of harassment. The men, it doesn't seem to be the same sort of thing. However, in an offbeat moment, midway through one of the tips videos on how to be safe on Twitch, Max, who streams as Gassy Mexican, was paid by Twitch to offer his advice to newcomers, and he sounds a warning. I might have thought twice about revealing my face. Some of Twitch's most popular streamers, such as Iron Mouse, use cartoon avatars that hide their appearance. I can understand that. For somebody like me who has had their face out there since they were a child, that cat's already out of that bag, baby. A stalker has harassed him, the guy who made the Twitch video on how not to be harassed, and people close to him for several years. When he attends a convention organized by Twitch where fans can meet streamers in person, he flags his stalker to security to ensure that she, following Max, will not be allowed to enter. Oh, our store says sex sells. Oh boy, does it ever. Wow. I got to figure that out. Get that angle going. Last year, Twitch said they would hold their users accountable for off-stream behavior, which is weird. If a Twitch user, not a streamer, a Twitch user, viewer, is determined to have committed an egregious real-world harm, the user can be barred from the platform. Little too late. Twitch has to walk a fine line between keeping streamers safe and from unruly fans. Well, so far, we've been all right. A YouTube video viewed over 1 million times addresses the problem directly. How can I stop my stalker? Please help. A popular Twitch streamer known as Sweet Anita, 31 years old, made the video in 2020 after she said a fan showed up repeatedly at her house, at one point with a knife. Then she talks about her experiences in interviews and other Twitch streamers about harassment. So it's a dangerous game we play as we seek information and connection. Sometimes it goes a little too far. And now it's time for our final blood pressure break of the day. We're returning in a moment. And we are back from the break. Oh no, Mr. Gordon says, hey. I wonder if we could find a more Bowles typeface font for the Be Right Back. Why don't we like this font? I don't understand. What is a more Bowles? What is a more Bowles font? You're hurting my feelings. And I don't have feelings, so that's really a very thing, Mr. Dave Desco. That's the Broadway font. Mm. This is the one. There we go. Perfect. Gordon says that's more you. Thank you. Comic Sans. I agree. It's perfect. Thank you for the suggestion. I can't take it. The Broadway is too on the nose. We have something that has to be a little more interesting and suggestive, but only in a good way. Trying to see what I have here. I have a lot of fonts. Lucida handwriting is not it. Lucida typewriter. No, that's ugly. Phew. That's an ugly one. Oh, that doesn't even look right. That's supposed to be a woodcut. That's not good. Wingdings are an opportunity. It wouldn't mean anything except to regular viewers of the show. They would know that means Be Right Back. It's a possibility. It's too on the nose. Oh, no, I'm gonna measure this all day. Oh, those are web dings. Now that's cute too. Be Right Back. Does that say anything emoticonally? Yeah, we'll use this for now, and then I have to make a second one that says, P.S. This is Gordon's fault. Just because, that's how we do things around here. Take responsibility for nothing. We're in this together, sort of. Any complaints, please write directly to the commissioner. The commissioner of Gordon's. Be right back. And so it goes. Art Historia says, Gordon, you're now infamous. Infamous is the exact right word. I think it's just delightful. With the big TV. Oh, it's just wonderful. I need to move this one. And if anybody asks, what is that? What does that mean? What have you done? It's Gordon. I don't know. I liked it the way it was. And then I changed it to Comic Sans, and I was upbraided for it. Which is fine. That's just the way it goes. We've had a wonderful show today. So many things to discuss and talk about and get caught up in. And we did. We will see what happens with our closed captions. I'm having the time of my life watching them because they look terrific. I just don't know if they should be open or closed. But Jana says they should be closed, so she wins. If you have any questions, comments, or thoughts, but not about this. That's not me, that's Gordon. You can go look him up on the internet. But don't stalk him and don't swat him. Just give him a piece of your mind. You can email me, david@bowls.tv. You can email Jana Marie, jana@bowls.tv. And her show is tomorrow, ASL show, talking about a lot of interesting things. Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern. You can find me on the Twitter @DavidBowles, super follow to follow. Twitter Blue is going up in price. I love Twitter Blue. It's going up from $2.99 a month to $4.99 a month. A 66% increase, which I find shocking and horrible. But it is a little bit addictive because it is sort of a nice feature to have. But if you're a current subscriber, your price doesn't go up until October. Hey, it's Jana Marie. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, and Gordon saying thank you. Oh, look at all this. I'm missing all this. It says, have you ever used Canva? It's a splendid site for design. Yes, I have used Canva, but I don't pay for it. Then Gordon says, yes, give me a piece of your mind if you can spare it. Oh, very dangerous for a Friday. That gives me all the way until Monday to think of a witty response. It says, thanks. Signing off from Winter Garden, Florida, says, thanks for having us. And the Jana Marie checks in. Looking forward for you to join us this weekend. Oh, isn't that wonderful? And I'm telling you, this is not a coincidence. It's how things work. The MooBot immediately put up the Jana thing. It's on a timer. I didn't do it. I was yelling at Gordon. And the MooBot stepped in and gave Jana a little promo. That's just fantastic. I love how that happens. Dora says, have a great weekend. Bye. Hi, Jana. Bye, Jana. Bye, Dora. Hi, Jana Marie. So on Twitter, we're at David Bowles, and Twitter Blue is going up. But if you're a current subscriber, your price doesn't go up until October. I don't know why. But if you're joining Twitter Blue for the first time, you get the higher price. And right now, there's not a lot going on with Twitter Blue. You can change the colors, you can use an NFT profile pic, but that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of added value yet. Maybe they'll add something more. On Facebook, we are regular old BOLES. It's our business page. On Instagram, we are Bowles Books. TikTok, Bowles TV. Here's our Discord server. I don't know why the error is occurring when the Discord server thing goes up, but it's all right. You click on the link, it will take you there. And so until Monday, I will see you soon. I have a whole new ending screen that Gordon has inadvertently, but perhaps intentionally also ruined with his font comment that I will fix when the stream is over. I'm not fixing it now in protest. But here is my sign off because I play along. I'm a so person. So I hope you have a wonderful rest, a terrific nap, and when ye shall awaken, may your soul be filled with joy and the anticipation of what's going to come next. I will see you soon.